But basically, they wanted to raise the price originally even more, so we could have seen a $15 common back then. But of course, with another price increase, it's very possible that that MSRP at $11.99 could go to $14.99. Yikes, that could be the direction we're headed. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope your day is going well. Today we're going to be talking about Funko's next price increase. Yes, that's right, Funko Pops are getting more expensive again. Now the question of the day for this video is, at what point is a Funko Pop too expensive that will make you stop collecting altogether? Let me know down below. So Funko fans all over the world, whether it's the United States, Canada, Europe, everybody's freaking out about this price increase right now because I don't know if you remember the last one we did have, but it was back in 2021 on November 1st. And this basically affected every single one of their products, where most of them were raising up anywhere from $3 to $5 each. Now, even though that was a little over a year ago that we saw that first initial price increase, seeing another one so soon has a lot of fans freaked. However, we technically did know that this was coming a couple months ago. I talked about this in a video. They did kind of like a little conference call talking about their quarterly sales and all that mumbo jumbo. Essentially, I won't bore you with all the details. If you are interested, you can check out my video from like 2-3 months ago. But essentially, they did this conference call where they talked about the sales for the year, how products are doing, and they also stated that they would be doing another price increase on their products. In my opinion, one of the biggest selling points of Funko is the fact that they have a really nice, affordable figure. However, if they continue with these price increases, like I said before in previous videos multiple times, they're going to price their own consumers out. Now, before we jump into the price increase itself and which products were affected and how much they are going up, I do kind of want to explain why this is happening. So if you haven't been living on the planet for the last 2 to 3 years, we did recently have a huge pandemic and we're still edging our way out of it. But with that came a ton of inflation. And on top of both of those things, we're borderline in a recession too. So it's kind of crazy in the world right now. However, I mostly want to focus on inflation here because that's one of the biggest causes as to why we're seeing so many price increases, whether it's eggs at the store or our Funko Pops that we love. And before you put all the blame on Funko, just know this is pretty much happening with every company in the world. This is not just a Funko thing. But don't worry, Funko definitely has their fair share of blame here, and we'll explain that in a minute. In the last few years, shipping costs, material costs, and production costs have severely affected Funko to the point where they have to increase the price on their products to be able to continue making a profit. And here's a quick example for you. Let's say a Funko Pop hypothetically costs $3 to make, okay? And then they sell it to you for $12. So that's a $9 profit per Funko Pop. But now inflation has hit and that original $3 production cost is now $5, for example. And that would bring their profits down to $7 per Funko Pop from the original $9. But then here comes the price increase to $14 from that original $12, so they can be back at that $9 profit range. So essentially, for them to continue to make the same profits or more, they push the cost onto the consumer. I'm not saying it's right, but that's basically what the situation is. So I am by no means an expert on inflation. That was basically just inflation for dummies, what I was explaining there, but hopefully you kind of understood. If you want to know more about inflation, recession, and all that, just make sure to do a Google search after this video. Now, another reason as to why this is happening is because Funko is also a company at the end of the day. They have to make money to continue going. They have to make money to keep their investors happy and their stockholders happy. So essentially, when profits are down, that scares investors and that scares stockholders, and that's really bad for a company. Now, to further stay ahead of this looming recession and the inflation we're currently trying to combat, Funko has also tried to implement a ton of cost-cutting measures. A really big thing being recently cutting their social media team. I'm sure you guys have seen other people talk about this, and sure you've seen the rumors of their social media team basically just being cut and all fired, essentially. Well, fired, let go. I wasn't there, so I don't really know what happened. And if you haven't been watching Fun TV recently, well, they kind of replaced the social media team with Muppets. I don't really know what's going on there. It's kind of weird. I don't know if you remember this cost-cutting measure, but in the last 2 years, they got rid of the 2D art on Funko Pop boxes and replaced it with 3D art. I still don't love the 3D art, but I'm pretty much used to it at this point. Something else they mentioned last year was they were also trying to source cheaper production costs so they could produce these maybe at the same cost or maybe a little cheaper. And those are just a few changes they've made to try to cut corners, some of them being a little messed up. All right, now jumping into the actual Funko pricing sheet going around directly from Funko HQ apparently, here are some of the price increases we could see on a majority of their products. Now, I'm not going to sit here and read every single price change of every single product, but I do want to highlight a couple things and explain why I think it's kind of weird and it doesn't make any sense. Vinyl sodas will be $15 for the regular and exclusives at $18. Now, the Funko sodas I wanted to talk about for a second because I've seen a lot of stores speaking on the fact that they're barely making any money on the sodas. Plus, you can take into account that most sodas, after they're opened, you buy them for $15 and most sell for maybe $6 to $8 after that. All the commons basically lose their value almost immediately. So unless it's the chase, Funko sodas have next to no market value. And they can state all they want that they're raising the price of exclusive sodas to $18, but Box Lunch has basically been doing that for a while now, where I do believe they sell their Funko sodas for like $16.90. The ones that are exclusive to them, they're already so expensive that they just sit on the shelves because nobody wants to go for them. So if you look at the Funko multi-packs, you do have the 2-packs, 3-packs, 4-packs, 5-packs, 6-packs, 7-packs, 8-packs. That is just so much. Like, why didn't they stop at like 5? Like, what is going on with these multi-packs? Anyways, taking a look at 2-packs here, you can see that the regular common 2-pack will be $24, basically meaning that the commons separately are $12 each, equaling that $24 price. However, you look at the exclusive price, and it's $30. Now, in my opinion, they're going to have to define exactly what they mean by exclusive here, because they've repackaged regular commons and then turned them into exclusive 2-packs. Like Todoroki and Endeavor, for example. Regular commons turned into a Crunchyroll exclusive. But they have other exclusive 2-packs where they repackage the same things and make one glow in the dark. Is that glow-in-the-dark popper really worth an extra $6? I don't think so. And it only gets worse with 3-packs being $36 and the exclusive 3-packs being $45. Now, something recently we saw was the 3-pack of Spider-Man Pops from No Way Home. That was $39.99 on Amazon. And in reality, there was really nothing special about that 3-pack because you could buy all 3 of those commons separately for $36 plus tax. And in this case, you're paying $39.99 plus tax. Essentially, by their logic here, when they repackage these commons into multi-packs, they're treating every single individual pop in those multi-packs as an exclusive. So that's where they're getting that $15 per pop price at $45. And the worst part about it is nothing has changed in these multi-packs. They're just the regular pops repackaged. So it's like they're overcharging, essentially. These prices make no sense whatsoever. I have to say one of the worst ones is the 8-packs at $96 for the regular one and $110 for the exclusive one. So that means they can make one exclusive in there, one pop glow-in-the-dark in that 8-pack to make it different and charge an extra $14. What? The only thing, in my opinion, that could justify these extra costs we're paying for seemingly no reason is if they basically character lock it, like they would DLC in a game. If you want that specific character, you buy the DLC. And in Funko's case, if you want the specific characters and you can only buy them in an 8-pack, and we can use the Spider-Man No Way Home 8-pack as an example here, I do believe they locked Lizard and Sandman solely to that 8-pack. You couldn't buy them as commons. So in my opinion, that kind of justifies an extra cost because you can only get the characters in that 8-pack, making it significantly different for the most part. I'm not saying it fully justifies the extra charge, but I'm just trying to look for a way as to why this might make sense to them. And don't even get me started with the covers that they're increasing the prices on when a majority of those cover pieces, whether it's the video game covers or the pop movie covers or the pop moments they recently announced, like the Eddie Stranger Things one, for example, unless they're filling those bad boys to the brim with exclusives and trees and rocks and dirt, there is no reason to increase the price on these when a majority of it is plastic and air. So to go back to my point earlier, yes, do they have to increase the prices as a company to stay afloat and maintain a certain profit level? 100%. But at the same time, these prices don't make any sense. So if they made sense, I would be more understandable, but they don't. Now, for some reason, they didn't mention their regular 4-inch style Funko Pops like Frieza or Jiren here, for example. I'm assuming those didn't change and those are still $12 each, as you can see with the 2-packs being $24 for 2 pops. But let's use the Spider-Man No Way Home 8-pack as another example. Essentially, everything in that 8-pack is a common. Nothing really stood out as an exclusive per se. It's 8 repackaged commons with the exception of Sandman and Lizard, where you can only get it in that 8-pack. Now, if they were to do that again in the future with another line, essentially, if you do the quick math, 110 divided by 8 is $13.75 per pop. So essentially, you're paying $13.75 each versus the original $12. So again, that just goes back to the fact that something needs to be significantly different in these multi-packs to make them worth the cost. Now, don't even get me started on deluxe and 6-inch pops where they're smaller than the actual box and they have more plastic and cardboard than actual figure, but they still charge a premium for, and then they wonder why they just sit on shelves and in stock because they're so expensive and you're barely getting anything for what you're paying. It's just a whole nother conversation, but like, it's something that needed to be mentioned here too. Okay, so I feel like we got a good handle on the Funko price increases again. It's basically very similar to last year where they basically raised a majority of their products another $5 each. A lot of the multi-packs or a lot of the bigger 6-inch pops, deluxe, 10-inch, etc. Again, like last year, it was roughly a $3 to $5 range of increases. Now going back to an earlier thing we were talking about in the video where Funko is making kind of like budget cuts essentially, firing artists, getting rid of social media teams, switching from 2D art to 3D art. I feel like they're making the wrong changes. And by no means, I don't run a billion-dollar company, I probably never will, but some of these changes they're making don't make any sense. Because let's look at some of the products they've been pouring money into that nobody really cares for. Here's 3 things that come to mind. Funko Gold, Popsies, and their new recently announced, again, Funko Candy. Listen, I know everybody's a fan of something. I know there are fans of Funko Gold, I know some people like the Funko Popsies, but when you're mass producing something like that and it's just sitting on shelves and nobody can tell me any different, especially with the Popsies, I have seen Walmart's overstocked with those. Okay, nobody can convince me those things are selling, and they're making more. I don't understand these. Why are you putting all this money into these products and then doing budget cuts like firing your social media team who are like in charge of running your social media to bring in more people? Like, what? Now, something to highlight here is that this is supposedly supposed to just be for Funko HQ at the moment, but on the back end, if Funko raises the MSRP on all these products again, like they originally did, then we could see stores like Hot Topic, Entertainment Earth, Child's Collectibles, all these other mom and pop shops, and giant big retailers that sell Funko products, we could see them start to raise their prices again due to the fact that it's more expensive now for them to buy these products from Funko and sell them to us. So again, the inflation for dummy things like I explained earlier. So I don't really know what's going to happen with all the private retailers, but Funko HQ and their website will have all these changes. So my final thoughts on this whole thing, to reiterate a couple things, I feel like they're pouring money into multiple different products and new lines that just aren't very successful and only cater to a very small majority of people. And I'm not saying they should just stop making those and stop trying new things, because that's how you develop as a company and that's how you get farther, because they can only get so far with Funko Pops. And I 100% do believe that Funko Gold, Funko Sodas, Popsies, and all this other stuff can coexist with Funko Pops and all the other products we do love that Funko does produce. But at the same time, I feel like they should be producing this stuff when they actually have the capital and money to do it. But as this video just showed you guys, they're essentially raising the prices on their products to be able to combat inflation and stay at the same profit margins, while at the same time doing all these budget cuts to be able to save money until this whole inflation ordeal is handled. So it's like not the right time, I feel like, in the last 2-3 years to try out so many new products, in my opinion at least. All in all, to reiterate what I say in multiple videos, I obviously love the product. I love the product for value purposes. I love the product for collecting purposes. I love having my favorite character. I love the collectability of it. I love the community that comes with it. I love all of you guys that come with it as well, with the job and everything like that. I love Funko. I love their product. But at the end of the day, they make some questionable decisions and they do some really crazy stuff. And sometimes we got to talk about the crazy stuff, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it wasn't your regular Funko news or unboxing or Funko Pop hunt, but I do like to talk about pretty important topics like this and the future of Funko in a whole sometimes. Alright guys, make sure to comment down below your thoughts on this entire situation. I would love to hear from you, whether you're normally quiet on the channel and you just watch the videos, or if you comment frequently. I kind of want to hear everybody's opinions and what you guys think about this entire situation. Now, I'm sure there's a lot more to it, but I basically went over a majority of the things that you needed to know with this and what it does come with. I want to remind you guys, if you are enjoying the videos lately, you can always smash that like button down below below. It helps me out a ton, and it makes the video get shown to a lot more people because this is one of those videos that I feel like a lot of collectors should see. So make sure to share it, make sure to like it, and leave a comment. To end off this video, I do want to say a big shout out to all the wonderful Patreon supporters of the channel. You guys absolutely rock for supporting myself and the channel. If you guys want to check out the Patreon, the link is down below. We have a Patreon-only Discord where we share a lot of information, news, restocks, updates, links, and more. We also have a Facebook page with over 16,000 members that's buy, sell, and trade, and make sure to be following me on all my social medias at SkittleRampage over on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and my Facebook page to stay up to date. All right, love you guys. See you guys in the next one. See you guys later. Bye.